nice shot at our downtown Indianapolis area. Well, I don't know. This actually might be indicative of the humidity that you're walking out, but it is pretty to look at as you get started at 6 o'clock on your Tuesday morning. Kind of looks like haze. It looks like fog. I just think it's the humidity that's lingering above us this morning.
Yes, it is not, as we say, a good hair day, ladies, if you're getting your Tuesday started here with us. Matt Standridge is back in house giving us that forecast. Nice to have you back after a nice wedding to your bride. You've had a really big couple of weeks.
Yeah, getting used to this thing on my fingers.
That's a good
it's
thing
been
to
a lot of
used to
fun.
there,
A lot of fun. It's great to be back with you all.
Glad you're back.
It is sticky out there. It is just as humid as Florida out there across central Indiana. You feel it. Today we've got downpours. I'm going to track you some of the downpours that we have out there, but we had that great shot from Scott Graber. He got that reflection right there along the river. But this right now is what it looks like everywhere. We've got low clouds, not quite on the ground, so you can see as you're driving. There's not too much fog, but we do have a lot of gray skies as we're stuck in the 60s and 70s out there. This is what it looks like downtown. The clouds are flirting with the tops of some of our skyscrapers. They're only about 600 to 700 feet above our heads, so they're just up there. Boy, they're adding a very gloomy start this morning. It's warm and it's sticky. Make sure you're dressed for the warm weather today. I think we'll get to the 80s, but then also have a rain jacket or umbrella ready to go. About 80% of us picked up some rainfall overnight last night, and we still have some leftover downpours right now. Most of us north of Indianapolis are stuck in the 60s, from the Winchester Falcons to 68 degrees for Jay County. Good morning. The Tigers in Lebanon, we're sitting at 69, closer to 71 in Indianapolis, 72 for the Arties, and then 70. Good morning in Spartans, Connorsville. We got dumped on last night. Dry for now, but that may change the next couple of hours. Farther to the south, a lot of low 70s from Bloomfield to Bloomington. So some 60s and 70s out there. It's sticky, it's humid. This map shows you where we picked up the rainfall last night. A lot of us, especially on the north side of Indianapolis, where we continue to track some of those downpours coming up. And we're going to talk about the rain zones throughout the day. Who's going to get the best chance of rain throughout the day today, and then severe weather possibly coming up tomorrow. But let's talk Let's talk about traffic this morning. Good news is that on the east side, we really have cleaned up an accident on 465. Everything is moving just fine here by Brookville Road. But we've got a couple areas of slowdown starting to pop up on the map. We've got 65 northbound on the east side of downtown, and also out towards the west coming in past Monrovia. I-70 eastbound, we've got a slowdown there. This is what it looks like at State Road 39. That's the exit from Monrovia with the TNA Travel Center. We've got possibly an accident up here. There's not a camera any closer, so it's hard to see, but we do have a backup on I-70 east. Everyone's been reduced to that one lane there on the inside. So we'll keep an eye on Monrovia. We'll keep an eye closer to downtown where traffic's moving, Julia, but it is a little bit slow this morning.
Right, that's probably the best way to get around out there this morning. Well, this morning, experts are warning parents about the dangers of the internet after a former Shelbyville school board member was caught hiding his identity to chat with teens.
David Finkel is now facing sex crime charges against children. Our Matthew Foltz is in studio this morning with the details that parents need to know to keep their kids protected. Good morning, Matthew.
Good morning to you both. We're learning from investigators that Finkel allegedly pretended to be a 27-year-old woman on several apps talking to underage teens. And court documents also say that he had child pornography on his own phone. Now, federal investigators say they were first alerted last April after the mother of one of the teens reported getting messages from Finkel. Court documents revealed that he allegedly exchanged explicit photos and messages with a girl and boy who both lived in separate states. FBI agents later searched his home earlier this month, and that's where he allegedly admitted to using the app TextMe, which is pretty popular among teens. Investigators say they later found 35 photos and videos on a hidden folder within Finkel's phone that contained child sexual abuse material. 13 News spoke to a local child sexual abuse advocate who says parents should really monitor what children have on their phones and devices.
If parents sense that something is going on with their children, if there are changes in behavior, if your child is unusually protective of their cell phone or wants to keep their phone with them all night, a lot of times these conversations with strangers are going on all night long. That's why we encourage parents to have boundaries on kids with their cell phones.
Now, court documents also say Finkel denied talking to minors online. However, he admitted to talking to adults. Now, last week, the Shelbyville Central School Board asked Finkel to step down as vice president from the board. He is no longer also listed on the district's website. Right now, we know he's being held by U.S. Marshals awaiting a first initial appearance.
And do we know if any of the alleged victims are from Shelbyville, and like, should parents there be concerned?
So right now, all the evidence on the court documents suggests that these victims were out of state. Of course, as I mentioned earlier, we do know one is from Missouri and then one is from Pennsylvania. But of course, as this case continues to play out in court, we could of course learn some more information.
Yeah, that's disheartening for any parent to hear, though. Matthew, thank you.
Well, this morning we are hearing from both parties connected to a controversial arrest caught on cell phone camera.
What am I doing? What am I doing?
We showed you this video yesterday here on Sunrise, the footage showing an officer tackling and hitting a man they were trying to arrest early Sunday morning. Police say they were working to break up a fight when one of the officers was forced to fire projectiles at Devin Hunt, who you see here in the white shorts. According to IMPD, the officers were trying to get him to comply and get control of his hands. Hunt tells us the officers' actions went too far.
Nobody should be touching nobody, regardless if you wear a badge or if you're a citizen or whatever. So I touched him. Well, he touched me. I slapped his hand down.
Now, Chief Bailey tells us the department is looking into whether the officer's action followed policy.
Force is not pretty. It's not going to look pretty on video. Now, it may be right, it may be wrong. We're going to find out.
Now, we have also reached out to the Marion County Prosecutor's Office about this video. A spokesperson tells us no formal charges have been filed against Hunt at this time.
Well, a teen is facing charges as an adult accused of sexually assaulting a child in a school bus in Jennings County. 13 News was the only camera inside of the courtroom as prosecutors say 15-year-old Landon Dodie assaulted a 7-year-old boy with autism. Those court records say that in April, a bus aide saw the boy on Dodie's lap and told the driver to stop. The prosecutor says that led to the review of hundreds of hours of security video between February and April. Dodie is charged with 11 felonies, including 4 counts of rape. We did talk to the parents of the alleged victims after that hearing. They had no comment to share with us. We do know that Dodie is still being held in the Jennings County Jail and is due back in court again in August.
Well, the director of a Brownsburg daycare is awaiting trial in connection with a child sex crime investigation. Jennifer Lingbeck is now charged with neglect and failure to make a report. Police say she was told about inappropriate behavior by former employee Gabriel Garner, but never reported it to DCS. Investigators later uncovered sexually explicit photos on Garner's phone of children at that daycare. Right now, he is facing 48 charges for child molestation, exploitation, and possession of child pornography. Lingbeck's trial is now set for August. The owner of the daycare, Nancy Minton, also faces charges for neglect and failure to report in this case. Her trial is set for July.